It's been a strong fall for the Anaheim housing market, with home prices actually climbing through October and November, a very unusual trend for this time of year. However, dissecting the data a little further indicates that home prices are about to see a significant fall. I'll show you that data in this week's Anaheim Real Estate Roundup for December 18th, 2024, brought to you by Blueprint. If you're looking to buy a home in Orange County, you'll soon see that realtors insist on an exclusive contract, entitling them to 2.5% of whatever you're offering to the seller of the home you want. At Blueprint, we do not do exclusive contracts, and our realtor fee is 60% less than the competition, allowing you to make a stronger offer on that home of your dreams. Learn more at www.buywithblueprint.com. Now let's get into the data. And we're looking at the latest weekly print from Redfin for the Anaheim metro market. And home prices rose again this week in Anaheim. The median sale price of an Anaheim home was at $1,191,000. That is following a trend of upward pricing over the past 2 months, up $46K from a low point of $1.145 million back in mid-October. Now, for those who might not know, this is pretty unusual. Prices usually peak around, say, July, August, and fall off in the fall. They ain't just leaves falling off those trees, baby. That's bad. Meanwhile, the median price of a new listing on the Anaheim market bounced back from its 5-week fall off. We bounced this week up to $1.124 million for a new listing in Anaheim. That's up from last week's $1.112 million. I remember list price is a proxy for how agents feel the market is performing. Agents are in the field day in and day out. They help sellers determine what their home should be listed at. So the fact that we had this bounce back this week suggests that the declining list price over the 5 weeks prior probably met its mark, and now it's time for the list price to come up a little. And keep in mind, list price is still above sale price. So agents are still listing homes for more than they're being sold on average. The number of new listings coming to market continues to decline. This is typical for this time of year. This week, we saw 314 new listings on the Anaheim housing market. New listings, though, at least we're beating out 2023 and 2022. We have fewer new listings than 2021. Now, homes sold held steady this week. We sold 385 homes on the Anaheim market this week. That's just up slightly, ever so slightly, from 383 last week. And you can see, looking at this graph of the absolute numbers, just how far north we are of last year, 2023, when it comes to homes sold. And a better way to see this is to scroll down here to the year-over-year chart. And you can see this upward growth in homes sold relative to last year before declining over the past 2 weeks. Now, this upward growth alone is enough to explain why prices have been climbing. When more homes are selling, it means there's more competition for what's out there. That leads to bidding wars. That leads to price escalation. However, it's nice to see this 2-week decline of homes sold relative to last year. That means we should be seeing some pricing relief in the weeks ahead. In pending sales, we see a nice slow decline over the past 6 weeks. This would explain why, after a number of weeks of increased sales, we finally saw a decrease in homes sold this past 2 weeks, at least relative to last year. And with a slow decline in pending sales, we should see homes sold continue to fall off in the weeks ahead. Again, that's suggesting continued price relief. And looking at the overall picture, we see that active listings is continuing to plummet. Again, that's what we expect this time of year. We still have significantly more listings on the market than we had this time last year. So this week, we had 4,391 active listings on the Anaheim market. This time last year, we had 3,591 active listings. But when we look at weeks of supply, we can see that we have a little bit more than we did last year. Right now, we have 11.9 weeks of supply on the Anaheim market. This week last year, we had 10.9. And this is a great example of how supply and demand balance against each other. Even though there's more inventory in raw numbers on the market, there are also more buyers interested in buying homes right now. So when you balance that inventory level against the rate at which those homes are being bought, you end up with a lower supply number in terms of weeks of remaining supply. So it's important to understand these metrics, how they work, and how they relate to each other when you're deciding to enter the housing market. And lastly, I want to take a look at this metric, median days on market. This is a measure of how fast or slow the market is. The higher this number, the slower the market is. And as you can see, overall, median days on market has been growing since about August. But if we look a little closer, you'll see that there was this dip, when's this? Mid-November, and now we've started climbing again. So clearly something happened in October, November. A little more energy came to the market. There was a little more buyer demand. The market sped up a little bit because of that demand. Prices climbed a little bit, but now we're back on a smooth track toward a increasingly slow market, which is what we expect this time of year. So looking at this metric and our pending sales and our homes sold, I'm actually predicting some price declines ahead for the Anaheim market. Are we going to see them? Subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for next week's Anaheim Real Estate Roundup.